What's up, everyone? It's Bo here, and welcome back to FANCRAFT. I am back here. These skeleton horses just constantly appear. I'm back here at kind of the... I don't even really know what to call it. Like, this the backyard of my base, okay? It's kind of tucked away. You can't really see it. It's not very nice looking, other than we just got some different trees that we're farming and that sort of thing. But for the most part, it just kind of is what it is. But anyway, I'm not back here for any particular reason other than that's where we're starting the video, because we are going to be spending our time today in the Star Wars district. Now, of course, last week we finished the Avengers Tower, which is looking very nice indeed. And of course, we kind of hinted at, some different things that are being built here in the Marvel district. But no, we're going to be working on this right here, which is going to be kind of the border, essentially, of the Star Wars and Marvel districts. Now, I asked last week, what do you think that I'm making? What do you think that I've been laying out here in kind of the Tatooine biome of our Star Wars district? What could this be? Well, if you guessed Jabba's Palace, you are absolutely 100 correct. Well, 99% correct. 80? Anyway, it's going to be inspired by Jabba's Palace. We're doing kind of like a little mini Jabba's Palace. Jabba's Palace is huge, all right? Like, Jabba's Palace is like massive. And as you can see, this is going to be slightly bigger than the Lars homestead. So not a full Jabba's Palace, more of just like a mini Jabba's Palace. It's going to be great. And I think it's going to be the perfect place to sell some terracotta, because it's going to take a lot of terracotta to build this thing. So I think it's going to look really awesome. Now, I have been gathering a lot of terracotta, and I hope I have enough. I'm actually not entirely sure. I got a whole shulker box here, so I think we're going to be okay. Also going to need some of these red sand slabs, and also, some lights. Okay, it's always a little nerve-wracking starting on a new build like this, because you got an idea for it. Maybe if you're like me, you've kind of mocked up part of it into your creative world just to see if you're on the right track. But I never finish anything in creative. Like, I always start something and kind of mess around with it, mostly because I just don't want to have built it twice. So we're going to see how this looks. All right, I think that's it. That's the setup. Let's dive into it. Let's get into the building. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah. All right. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is not to scale, okay? This is a miniaturized version of Jabba's Palace. Jabba's Palace should probably be like 4 or 5 times this size. But it serves the purpose, which is it communicates Jabba's Palace and also provides us with what I think is going to be a really cool little terracotta shop. Now, nothing is here on the inside just yet, but I can already kind of envision what it'll be like to make kind of Jabba's throne room in here. Possibly make it more of like the Boba Fett throne room version with like a throne or something like that. But I don't know. That dais is so iconic. I feel like that's got to be there. And then what if we put like a redstone, like dropper thing? like a Sarlacc pit, something that might drop you in the Sarlacc pit. Like you gotta make your purchase fast enough, otherwise you're going down into. I guess we could. I mean, it'd be amazing if we get a warden, but that's probably a little too crazy. What if we got like a Ravager or something like that? I think that's what those things are called. That would be pretty sweet. Now you got the centralized building, but there's also the towers, and so I've been kind of messing around for a while trying to figure out what the right size of the tower should be. Technically, there should be 3, kind of the larger main one, kind of like a shorter, wide second one, and then a very kind of tall, thin one as well that's kind of peeking out the top. One of which you only really see from like 2 or 3 angles. I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I think I do it one at a time. We do this one right now. We pop up the tall one and we see how that looks and whether or not it really needs the third one, because as you can kind of see, if I put the third one where it needs to be, we run out of space. We are now definitively in the Marvel District, and that is not okay. Ooh, speaking of not okay, I haven't paid for this land yet. How much is this? 31, 32, 33, and 34? 34. Okay, I got that money. Okay, what did I say? 34? Booyah. Done. Okay. That was bad. That would have been bad. That would have been bad if I had forgotten to pay. But no, this is a paid for palace. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, now I know that, in fact, my daughter actually pointed out that Jabba's palace technically should be more of like a sand gray type of coloring, but I really like this. I've looked at a couple of different designs that people have done with Jabba's palace in Minecraft, and a lot of times you get a lot of terracotta used. Plus, I also really like the fact that this provides a color pop, which is, I think, important given that so much else in the Tatooine district is very sandy and kind of all that like neutral color. It's just nice to have something different. So I don't know. Maybe I'll incorporate some of the grays at the base here and do more of like a gray to brown, almost kind of like a reverse coloring type deal. But I don't know. We'll have to mess with it and see what we come up with. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think that, all right, I dig it. I dig the tower. That does look good. Yeah, and it's tall enough that it does kind of peek out the side right there. Yeah, that's good. Although, the question is also from multiple angles. Okay, that's pretty good. And honestly, I guess it's because it is kind of larger, something like, the dragon or whatnot. Yeah, it needs to kind of like be visible from various parts of the district as a bit of a statement piece would be kind of nice. Okay, so the tower's good. I kind of wish I had done the orange a little bit lower. Actually, I kind of pushed up the brown. Like, I wanted it to kind of go above our main building. And now that I see it in practice, I kind of wish I had done it lower. I feel like there should be more orange right there. So I might tweak that and see what all I can get. And then the other factor is I'm definitely thinking we need the third building. Like, I was going back and forth on this, but now I'm thinking that has to happen. As you can see, I've already started messing around trying to get a size right. This is really tricky because this is so much smaller than the traditional Jabba's palace. It makes it difficult to do the smaller towers that go around it. Because if I go too big on the middle-sized one, then I risk it being kind of seen as a similar size to the main building. But then if I go, too small, then it's going to look either the same size as this or smaller. So it's tricky. I'm working on it, as you can see. But overall, I'm feeling good about it. And the interior, I've actually started to do. So we've got the dais, Jabba's dais right here, where kind of the main terracotta is sold. And then I figure what I'll probably do is, as I add different colors of terracotta, I'll do these kind of little platforms, around, like little piles essentially here and there and otherwise. And then I may carry out this style of kind of the logs to, do more of an interior so that it's not just the same thing outside that you see inside. I think that could be kind of cool. So yeah, we'll continue working on that. As you can see, I've added a Sarlacc pit. No, I did that earlier. Not a Sarlacc pit. This is the Rancor pit. I did a Rancor pit. It would be further down, but it actually backs into our little tunnel underneath the Tatooine biome. So that could actually be kind of cool if we actually kept our quote unquote Rancor down there so that you could through like a window when you're passing by, see it. That could be kind of awesome. But yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we continue to build this thing out. But beyond personal projects, there's also a couple of, just kind of maintenance things that need to be done. I am the city planner here for Central City, and as such, there are some things that need to be cared for that, well, I need to care for. For one thing, due to an explosive creeper accident, we've been missing a chunk of the snow globe. Now, I've already contacted Snow and let her know that she can use city funds to go ahead and patch this thing up. I think it is mostly just white, but as you can see, there is some different kind of color patterns that she's worked into it as it kind of fades from the flower into the whiteness. And so I kind of feel like she should be the one to do that. I don't want to mess up the good thing that she has going here. But at the same time, she shouldn't have to pay for that herself. Like, I'm thinking that needs to be some pull from our city funds. So there's that. But then there's this other factor of the next big team build. Now, I have been of the mindset that after Avengers Tower for the Marvel District, which is too far to load in. Come on, load in. There it is, kind of. After finishing our Avengers Tower for our big team build for the Marvel District, I was thinking like Star Wars District might be the way to go. And I really like the idea of doing the Jedi Temple, like a really big Jedi Temple. I've mocked up a concept that's actually, well, I say I've mocked up a concept. I've begun mocking up a concept that's pretty much the entire size of the Marvel District. You could fit it inside this temple. So when I say big team build, it's like the biggest of team builds. It's bigger than anything we would have ever done before. But with that being the case, I want to make sure that everybody's cool with it. Like that's what we want to do next for our big team build. So I think we need to do something that is kind of a staple of the craft series. We need to set up a voting booth. We need a means or a way for the crafters to share their thoughts as to whether or not that's a good idea, they're behind it, or if there's something they think would be a better big team build. Okay, so with this, we're, with our kind of our civic center, we're trying to keep everything together for these type of, services and whatnot. So we got the jib board, we've got the post office, we've got our portal. Behind the portal is actually our team storage area for big team builds. We got our bank right here. I'm thinking maybe we could put the voting booth right over there. You know what? For now, it might not even be a voting booth. It may just be very much like a thing of convenience. Okay, so vote today. Should the new big team build be the Jedi Temple? Name the paper with your name plus either a yes, or if your vote is no, please put your name plus a different option. Well, my vote is definitely yes, so I'm going to say Bo. And then I'll put it right chair. Okay, hopefully that's easy enough for everybody to figure out. If not, this is just a temporary setup. We'll make an actual voting booth sometime in the near future. And yes, I do see these guys over here making their way. I don't know where they're going. Like where are they going? They are like aggressively heading in that direction. And yet what's over there? I mean, that's the Marvel District, but they don't know that. Crazy. So I had this other concept, right? Like, what if, because, we've got some good city funds right now. We've got a bunch of different shops that are going. And this project right here with the Sanctum Sanctorum, this thing is going to be super nice. Now, Fox has already asked for a lot of help, and there has been a lot of help that we've been able to provide him. But I'm thinking that, this is a project the city actually needs to get behind. It's so detailed. It's so, true. He showed us the design that he's pulling off of, and it is such a good capturing of what's from the films. I feel like this is something that we need to perhaps subsidize a little bit. So, all right, there we go. Congrats. You have been awarded a grant from the Central City Fund of Random Grant Giving. Please use these diamonds to help with the project. Any you do not use for it will need to be returned to the bank. Keep up the good work. All right, there we go. And that way, not only are we helping to make something awesome happen, we're also helping Fox to finish a large project because, I'm just giving him a bit of a hard time here because Fox doesn't finish large projects. And so we got to make sure he does it. We got to make sure he finishes this one. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool. And so now we're helping with that. So yeah, you got this, Fox. I believe in you. I believe in you, and so does Central City, and we now believe in you with diamonds. Ooh, I need to get some diamonds. All right, but you. Yeah, okay. All right, let me see if I could do a little bit more work on Jabba's palace here. And I want to finish this up. This is not meant to be a project that's supposed to last multiple videos. This is supposed to be knocked out in one, but I came in looking at that and I was like, done. But then I was like, we need the other one. And then I've got that and it's like, not done. And so you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound, baby. Let's do this. Let's get it done. And just like that, boom, we are done. That's right. Sitting here on the throne, on the dais. That's right. I haven't done any real, I mean, I've changed a little bit because I've added more terracotta, but like no real change in here. The big change is all out here because as you can see, we've got the third tower, the smallest of the towers, which kind of makes it less of a tower, but it's there. Okay. We now have the fullness that is Jabba's palace. Ah, man, like this is tough. Like it's really tough to like get this looking right. Like I think I like it. I think I like it. It looks good. I mean, especially when you've got all three of them in the shot, it actually looks really, really solid. And I mean, again, it's not to scale. None of this is to scale. This should be so much bigger if it was to scale, but it's not. But it does do the trick, right? Like it gives us something on the corner that kind of separates the rest of the Star Wars district from the Marvel district. Yes, you still have the Fantastic Four tower that's like popping up behind it, and who knows, it'll be behind that at some point. Like, but at the same time, it gives a little bit more of an in-universe kind of wall off to what's there. In the same way that having, you know, more indoor and Kashyyyk inspired builds right here between the Star Wars district and the Tolkien district can really help to be a natural bridge between the two. But yeah, look at that. Okay, that's good. I like it. And then the 4 pops up behind it, but I like it. That's part of it. That's part of it. This whole process has been interesting though, because it really has had me thinking about like what exactly is the entrance to the Star Wars district. Like we just don't necessarily have one. In fact, the one that we have between Marvel and Star Wars has actually been now blocked off by this thing. Oh, almost fell into the Sarlacc pit. So I'll probably relocate that in some form or fashion, maybe where you come out over here. That would also help with the whole Rancor pit idea if we want to have kind of the Rancor pit down below. I think that'd be pretty cool. So there you have it. We have created Jabba's palace here in Minecraft, and all things considered, I think it looks really great. I am very proud of how this turned out, especially for the amount of work that I've put into this thing. I think it's looking really, really good. It adds to our Tatooine biome and really just kind of builds up this corner. And, you know, hopefully will also get us some sales of the terracotta, because I certainly used a lot of it to build this thing. You know, it's funny, right? Like I feel like I create the shop that I need, but then I end up, you know, getting all the stuff and then selling it. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of funny. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like this video if you are enjoying everything. Would love to hear your ideas for what you'd like to see us build next here, either in the Star Wars district or perhaps the Tolkien district or whatnot. Let us know. Until next time, goodbye.